Hello?
Where are you? We're presenting soon, Grace.
Oh, crap. Okay, I'm up now.
You just got up? What happened?
Would you believe me if I said that I somehow angered the ghost of Grace Hopper and she disabled all of my alarms?
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Wait, did you say something like, we've always done it that way?
I would never say that. Except maybe as a joke.
And she took apart your alarm clock? I guess old habits die hard.
Don't worry, I'll be there soon. Just, you can get started without me. You can start with the alarm clock story. But don't hang up, I want to hear what's going on, okay?
Okay, I have to start now. I'm sorry about this, folks. My partner will be on the phone with us until she can get here.
It'll be just like I'm there.
Our mathematician is Grace Hopper, and it seems to be that she's repeating one of her childhood adventures here. You see, when she was 7 years old, she took apart all the alarm clocks in her house. All of 7 alarm clocks. Her mom got really mad and was like, "What is my child doing?" But she figured out that her child was just curious on how does an alarm clock work. And she couldn't figure out how to put it back together, so she kept taking alarm clocks apart. Her mom, not wanting to limit her curiosity, limited her to one alarm clock. And Grace, using this analytical mind, went on to Vassar College to get her degree in mathematics and physics. Grace went on to Yale to get her PhD and was teaching at Vassar at the same time.
I'm pretty sure that would require the time management skills of everyone watching this combined.
Her colleagues gave her the classes they didn't really want to teach. Not only was she teaching, but she was learning the material on her class for finite sums about a week ahead of the students. She rolled with the punches and kept her growth mindset. She was also really well liked as a teacher, and students from all majors took her classes. She managed to get her PhD in mathematics from Yale and was one of the first women to do so.
Don't forget to talk about her Navy career.
Grace Hopper wanted to join the Navy, but she was deemed to be too small. But with the start of World War II and her taking a leave of absence from teaching at Vassar, she was able to join. She got into the computing project at Harvard, working on learning how to program the Mark I.
That was one of those early on computers that could fill up an entire room. It was 51 feet long, and it ran like 24/7, and it had hundreds of miles of wires to work with.
You aren't talking to us while driving, are you?
Don't worry, Maya's on the road. You're on speaker, it's fine.
This calculator was used to make calculations for rocket trajectories, calibrating minesweepers, and making range tables for anti-aircraft weapons. The Army used this calculator to make calculations regarding the atomic bomb and its effects.
And she was able to program it partially because of the college courses that her colleagues left for her.
Since she knew the rules for derivatives, it would have been easy for her to learn these differences in finite sums. As we know the rules of derivatives, there's the product rule and the quotient rule. The product rule, you can see here, is the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. The finite, as you can see here, is very similar to that structure. And then we have the quotient rule, where we have low d high minus high d low over the square of what's below. With finite quotients, it is like this. Very similar.
The concept of finite differences connected well with her computer programming because it deals with discrete mathematics instead of continuous calculus. Computers have to process things in a discrete way because the programming requires a series of yeses and nos, and there's no in between like there would be with continuous mathematics.
We've tended to forget that no computer will ever ask a new question.
Seriously, still, she's been following me around since the start of spring break, just quoting herself. Maybe if we finish this presentation, then she'll finally retire.
Hopper was forced into retirement from the Navy at age 60.
The saddest day of my life.
However, 6 months later, they reinstated Hopper because they needed her to standardize their computer systems. She then went on to make the first compiler, which basically takes machine code language, which is a bunch of numbers and letters, and makes it into readable English using if and then statements.
The programmer may return to being a mathematician.
She remained in the Navy for 19 more years, so that when she retired for real, at the age of 79, she was a Rear Admiral and the oldest serving officer in the entire service. However, she still stayed in the computer industry for a few more years after that, and she was the first female to be awarded the National Medal of Technology 1 year before she died in 1992.
Thank you, ladies. You have done a good job sharing my life. Before I go, let me share one last quote, my personal favorite. Humans are allergic to change. They love to say, we've always done it this way. I try to fight that. That's why I have a clock on my wall that runs counterclockwise.
I don't think you're alone in thinking that. Our teacher has a map of the world with the south pointing up.
Well, you'd think that all of her other awards and honors would do a better job of honoring her than this end-of-the-year project like this, right?
I could see why she liked this. One last quote from her. If you ask me what accomplishment I'm most proud of, the answer would be all the young people I've trained over the years.